Jean-Claude Van Damme used $10,000 in cocaine weekly. Directors hired handlers to find him on site. He disappeared for days, missed shoots, and hallucinated. Drugs devastated his $100 million career, but it wasn't his biggest secret. He attempted suicide in 1998 and was diagnosed with rapid cycling bipolar illness. He assumed cleaning would solve his problems. Trafficking charges from Romanian prosecutors in April 2025 might end everything. Jean-Claude Van Damme was born in Berksem, Saint-Agathe, Brussels, on October 18, 1960. His name was Jean-Claude Camille François van Varenberg. His father, Eugène, was a florist and accountant. Eliana, his Flemish mother, spoke Dutch while his father spoke French. Jean-Claude's global success was boosted by their bilingual home. He and his sister Veronique grew up in a secluded working-class neighborhood. His parents emphasized discipline and hard work from the outset. His father decided Jean-Claude required martial arts training because he was small and introverted. Jean-Claude struggled in school as a child. He had heavy glasses and a thin, delicate frame. He was constantly teased and called brains by kids. Sports didn't interest him. He liked comics and peaceful activities. He later said childhood was challenging, and that he was weak. His father understood reform was needed. Jean-Claude began weightlifting at age 11. He wanted to change his physique to stop being pushed. Decision impacted his life forever. Gym was his getaway. Day after day, he trained to never feel helpless again. His father enrolled him in karate at the Centre National de Karate in Ixelles at 12. Claude Goetz was a difficult coach. Jean-Claude trained daily from 1972 to 1976. Classrooms were harsh. Despite multiple nose breaks during sparring, he continued. He developed discipline, precise kicks, and high flexibility. By 1976, he was on Belgium's national karate team at 16. A boy who was bullied for being weak accomplished this. Around the same time, something unexpected occurred. Jean-Claude quietly took ballet classes. He performed ballet 5 days a week while training in karate from 16 to 21. It would improve balance, grace, and body control, he knew. Ballet was harder than martial arts, he later stated. He didn't tell his karate mates since they'd laugh. Ballet actually made his kicks seem great. It helped him do the amazing splits everyone talked about. Jean-Claude's first karate match was in 1975. At 15, he won 44 semi-contact matches and lost 4 between 1976 and 1980. His opponent hurt him badly with a roundhouse kick in one of his early Brussels fights. Jean-Claude nearly lost, but he defeated the opponent in seconds. That situation revealed his toughness. He helped the Belgian karate team win a big European event in Brussels in December 1979. It was his biggest triumph yet on March 8, 1980. His opponent was Patrick Tugels, who had defeated him twice. Jean-Claude kept fighting after breaking his hand. So hard did he kick Tugels in the nose that he stopped. TKO for Jean-Claude. His hand needed surgery, so he stopped fighting for months. But that match showed his champion heart. Jean-Claude, 19, won the European Professional Karate Association middleweight title in 1979. He had 18 knockouts and 1 loss in full contact contests. Some thought the stats were bloated with weaker opponents, but most acknowledged he was a powerful and talented fighter. He founded California Gym in Brussels at 20. It was near a graveyard. The gym hardly earned money, but he believed it would provide cash and a place to train. He did many jobs to live. He delivered pizzas, lay carpets, and modeled for muscular mags. He often slept in the gym to avoid rent. Restaurant leftovers and stolen food were his diet. This lasted nearly 2 years, saving every penny he could, wanting to see America. He reached Los Angeles at 21 in 1982. Some believe he brought $50, some say $2,000 or $5,000. He spoke no English, had no acting experience, and had no help, living in his car near Venice Beach. After showering in public restrooms, he cleaned apartments, waited tables, and delivered pizzas. He met Chuck Norris as a limo driver, who eventually provided him stunt employment. In 1984's Break-In, he briefly danced in the background for his first film part. It was uncredited. He was a bouncer at Chuck Norris's pub at this time. He was so poor he ate from trash cans to survive. Daily training and auditions continued. He gained attention by sparring with Chuck Norris. In 1986, he played a minor villain in No Retreat, No Surrender. He was paid $250 to play a vicious Russian fighter. He physically assaulted his co-stars during sequences, and the director told him to stop. Van Damme took every combat scene seriously. That year, he took his biggest risk. While working at a restaurant, he observed producer Menahem Golan dining. With soup in hand, Van Damme executed a spectacular roundhouse kick. Golan was so delighted he invited him to audition. At Cannon Films, Van Damme waited all day. Jean-Claude removed his shirt and high-kicked the producer when Golan called him in. He was shocked. He handed him a script and added, "Next week in Hong Kong." That script was brutal. A budget of $1.52.3 million was used to make the film. Van Damme executed all his acrobatics without safety gear. He did splits on kitchen counters and kicked himself. The bouts were risky, but Van Damme didn't care. Film was delayed. Nearly went to video. However, he convinced Golan to re-edit the battle scenes. He worked non-stop for weeks. After its 1988 release, Bloodsport stunned everyone by grossing $50 million worldwide. Not everything went well. His 1987 Predator audition was a nightmare. He wore the $20,000 extraterrestrial outfit for a job. He hated it. The suit made him claustrophobic and faint twice. The producer shouted that he'd be fired if it happened again. Van Damme cracked. He tore off and crushed the pricey headgear. The producer shouted and threw him off stage. He was replaced by 7-foot actor Kevin Peter Hall. With Kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme became famous worldwide in 1989. It launched on September 8th and grossed $50 million, despite costing $2.7 million. Van Damme trained in Muay Thai with local boxers in Thailand for the film, which opened on 973 screens and made $4.1 million in its debut weekend, placing third in the U.S. The first Hollywood film to introduce Thai kickboxing. The Bangkok bar scene where Van Damme dances intoxicated is the most memorable. He dances with his shirt open, seeming wild, and then fights brutally. That odd blend of hilarious and aggressive became one of his most talked about moments. It made him an action star and popularized Muay Thai. That year, Cyborg debuted. It took 23 days and cost under $500,000. Cannon Films lost money on shelved He-Man and Spider-Man movies, so director Albert Pagin devised a new tale in one weekend to use the costumes and sets. The movie was named after guitars like Gibson Rickenbacker and Marshall Strat. Something terrible happened during filming. Van Damme used a prop knife to inadvertently hit Jackson Rock Pinkney in the eye. The studio was sued for $485,000 for the injuries. Despite pandemonium and poor reviews, the film made over $10 million and started a cyberpunk franchise. Lionheart portrayed Van Damme emotionally in 1990. In Lion Gaultier, he flees the French Foreign Legion and fights illegally in Los Angeles to assist his dead brother's family. The clashes were severe and unruly. Dislocated shoulder and other injuries plagued Van Damme during filming. Australia dubbed the film Wrong Bet, while the UK labeled it AWOL. It opened in France on August 1st, 1990, and in America on January 11th, 1991. This movie showed he could act, not just fight. He played a prison infiltrating cop in Death Warrant later that year. A $6 million budget yielded $46 million, and Van Damme kept adding his spinning kicks to battle scenes, slowing production. He didn't want to fight police style. The prison interiors were filmed in the Ambassador Hotel's basement, while Pretty Woman was filmed upstairs, which is cool. He helped edit the fights after filming to tighten them. In one day, a massive LA power plant hosted the final battle against Sandman, a terrifying killer. In 1991, he played twin siblings in Double Impact. The 110-minute film debuted on July 31st. Van Damme had to play both a calm, pleasant sibling and a strong, angry one. For realistic moments, they used split-screen trickery and hired real twin stand-ins. Before CGI, camera timing and optical effects were used for everything. It was one of the first movies to show his versatility. He could play complex characters. Universal Soldier made Van Damme famous by 1992. On a $23 million budget, it grossed $102 million worldwide. But behind the scenes, tensions rose. He demanded a luxurious trailer and wouldn't appear without his wife, bodybuilder Gladys Portugues. That caused major delays because she had to be flown to each filming location. Dolph Lundgren, Van Damme's co-star, stated he was unpleasant and egotistical. Their animosity peaked in 1992 at Cannes, where they almost fought on stage. Maybe it was contrived, maybe it was real. Regardless, the film made Van Damme a superstar. He shot Hard Target in the Louisiana wetlands with Hong Kong filmmaker John Woo in 1993. Van Damme insisted on completing his own stunts, almost breaking his leg during a horse kick scenario. Universal worried about Wu's direction and sent Sam Raimi to babysit. Although it took 65 days to complete, Wu was impressed by Van Damme's willingness to tackle perilous situations. Van Damme's biggest hit was 1994's Time Cop, which made $101.6 million on a $28 million budget. Played a time-traveling cop. He added sections to highlight his split moves to the script. The kitchen scene, where he splits to prevent electrocution, is famous. He also wanted scenes showing his body, especially his butt, which he was proud of. The role earned him $3 million. The storyline holes bothered critics, but fans adored the action and time travel. After filming Street Fighter later that year, things went out of hand. He used $10,000 in cocaine weekly. Director Steven D'Souza stated Van Damme would emerge high and disappear for hours. They hired a wrangler to track him. He also had an affair with Kylie Minogue in Thailand while filming. Before he confessed in 2012, his wife Darcy Lapierre was pregnant. He wanted private planes and lodgings. Despite this, he performed well. He earned $5 million for unexpected death in 1995, his highest salary. He saved Stanley Cup Finals hockey fans as a fire marshal. The Pittsburgh Civic Arena was used to film NHL players, including Luc Robitaille. The arena kitchen featured a confrontation with Iceberg, the team mascot. Van Damme's arena roof zipline feat was ridiculed for its excess. After spending $35 million, the film generated $20.4 million in the US, but $64 million globally. Set in 1925 Tibet, The Quest was his 1996 directorial debut. As real fighters from 16 countries fought for a golden dragon statue, Van Damme used $10,000 of cocaine a week and called in sick. A studio handler was supposed to control him, but made things worse. He arrived late from Hong Kong for filming, missing entire days. Despite delays and issues, the $35 million film earned well abroad. He played twin siblings again in 1996's Maximum Risk. The Russian mafia kills one and the other seeks revenge. Vehicle chases were real and deadly. The stunt double was critically injured in one crash. Critics believed Van Damme's extreme realism wasn't what made him dangerous. He fought in a towel in the film, which garnered notice. Stunts drained the $15 million budget. Double Team partnered him with Dennis Rodman in 1997, but Van Damme's reaction was unexpected. His undiagnosed bipolar disease caused him to go from euphoric to despondent in a day. Due of his emotional swings, director Tsui Hark changed scenes frequently. Without acting experience, Rodman was more steady. The $30 million film focused more on completion than storyline. The 1998 film Knockoff featured him as a fashion designer involved in a jeans-exploding conspiracy. Also that year, Van Damme was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He sang Hong Kong songs and acted strangely on set. His treatment efforts were ongoing during filming. His mood swings often halted production, forcing the director to adapt. The movie's wild fashion terrorism tale reflected Van Damme's life. In 1998, Legionnaire debuted, inspired by Van Damme's desire to join the French Foreign Legion. But his image was ruined in February when he was knocked out cold in a Manhattan strip club. He insulted former Hell's Angel and boxer Chuck Zito in the restroom. After hearing Van Damme's words, Zito went to his table and hit him hard, sending him falling across the floor. The beating continued while onlookers watched. Legionnaire bombed at the box office, making the humiliation worse. A 1995 call could have saved Jean-Claude Van Damme. Universal Pictures offered $36 million for a trilogy. Each film cost $12 million. Time Cop had exceeded $100 million worldwide. Instead of signing, Van Damme demanded $20 million per picture, similar to Jim Carrey. Stated, "Everything I touched made money." He didn't hear a counteroffer. Just laughs. Callers laughed and hung up. That one moment ended his A-list career. 5 years previously, in 1990, he made $75,000 for Death Warrant. He made $8 million for Street Fighter by 1994. His $20 million gamble banned him overnight. On the Street Fighter set that year, things were falling apart behind the scenes. Cocaine addiction plagued Van Damme, who used 10 grams daily. He spent almost $500,000 a year on it, or $10,000 every week. He disappeared from set, missed entire filming days, and needed his fix to function. The studio assigned him a handler, who added to the problem by bringing champagne and partying with him. When Double Team filmed in 1996, he was hallucinating. He left rehab after 7 days. Without medicines, he was useless. Jean-Claude Van Damme became his Hollywood nickname. Everything collapsed in 1998. He was diagnosed with rapid cycling bipolar disorder after a suicide attempt. He had been alternating between manic and depressive states for years, and now everything made sense. He was hyper-creative and violent during mania. He yelled, demanded high wages, and used cocaine to cope. His wife, Gladys Portugues, endured his mood swings. The suicide attempt prompted him to seek help. He opened up about using mood stabilizers on Oprah in 2007. Unfortunately, his career was already damaged. While filming Street Fighter in Thailand in 1994, he was entangled in another scandal. While married to Darcy Lapierre, he had an affair with Kylie Minogue. He confirmed it in a Guardian interview almost 20 years later, calling it Sweet Kiss. Exquisite lovemaking. Not having an affair would be unusual, he said. She's stunning. Time made things worse. He might have cheated during or after his engagement to Lapierre. The affair contributed to their 1999 divorce. Van Damme often left interviews after being asked about it. Then came the night that ruined his action hero reputation. He insulted Hells Angels president Chuck Zito at Scores Strip Club in Manhattan on February 5, 1998. Van Damme boasted to Mickey Rourke that Zito had no heart in the bathroom. Zito heard. He approached Van Damme's table and questioned if he said it. Van Damme agreed. Zito acted quickly. He defeated him with a right-left combo. Van Damme tossed his chair and fell. Zito punched till security stopped him. Zito said, "This ain't the movies, this is the street, and I own it," as Van Damme lay unconscious. The newspaper and Hollywood stories ruined Van Damme's tough man image. Desert Heat went video in 1999. It was 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Just 11,000 votes. Last Signal. Van Damme lost favor at the box office. Now a direct-to-DVD actor. Cocaine, legal issues, missed shootings, and numerous reshoots made him toxic in Hollywood. The return of Universal Soldier that year was a failure, making the movie cost $45 million, yet it only made $10.7 million globally. Only $270,000 was sold abroad. Each theater made $2,800 on opening weekend. Dice Youth sequel made 11% of the original's $95 million. Its total box office earnings were 5,389th. He experimented in 2008. Raw and self-aware. JCVD. He portrayed a damaged version of himself trapped in a phony heist while fighting custody and money issues. He sobs and confesses in an 8-minute monologue. Poor films, drugs, divorces. Loved by critics. Audiences didn't. People felt awkward watching their action hero cry. Although one of his best performances, it failed. The Expendables 2 allowed him to return to the majors in 2012. He played evil Jean Villain. Vin Diesel denied his Fast and Furious application. In 2023, Van Damme said Diesel said, "No, I don't want him." Despite his success in Expendables 2, he was slain. Stallone teased a return with twin brother Claude Villain, but it never materialized. Van Damme later said Hollywood no longer needed individuals like him, comparing himself to a manual transmission in a Tesla world. April 2025 saw the darkest period yet. Romanian prosecutors charged him of trafficking. Van Damme allegedly welcomed 5 trafficked women from Romanian mafia lord Morel Bolea at a 2015 Cannes event. Witnesses said Van Damme received the women from a fashion TV group at a hotel party. An attorney said the women showed evidence of exploitation. Van Damme's representative deemed the charges preposterous, but the inquiry and ramifications were tremendous. But he remained. In 2011, he voiced Master Croc in Kung Fu Panda 2. He voiced Jean-Claude in Minions 2022, Rise of Gru. Voice parts without physical intensity became his focus. Medication and daily workouts kept him stable for these undertakings. His therapy was martial arts. To treat his bipolar disorder, he exercised daily and posted fitness suggestions on YouTube. He began Train with Van Damme in April 2020, teaching individuals how to exercise at home without equipment, merely home goods. He played Jean-Claude Van Johnson in Amazon Self-Parody in 2016. He played a washed-up actor and secret operative. The show mocked his ego, habits, and poor image. It barely aired 6 episodes, but viewers witnessed Van Damme laughing at his legacy. He returned in 2024's Darkness of Man. He played a former Interpol agent protecting a child from gangs. His real-life son co-starred, providing emotional dimension. The film premiered in May and hit Netflix in December. It featured an older, quieter Van Damme seeking to rehabilitate himself. Nothing indicated relapse. He supposedly beat his addiction in 1998 after committing to therapy.